jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
And you're listening to World Combat Sports. What's good, everyone? Salute. Man, you know it's lit. Down here in the ATL, man. Just fresh off fight week. Yes, I had to return with a couple of topics, man, to talk about. I know the fight fans are out there, but I want to give a big salute to the WCS supporters, man. Those of you that continue to support the media grind, man, and everything that I do. And appreciate the hard work and dedication. I appreciate you. Appreciate you tuning in to the live. I'm gonna run back this intro just a little bit. I changed it up. Had a young artist down here in ATL, man. Dropped just a small intro to the video that was already attached to it. So, just a little bit different, just switching it up a little bit. And then we're gonna jump right into the topics, man. You see the headline, you know what I'm saying? Shakur Stevenson, is he unstoppable at 130 pounds? Or will it become just as if he's in 135-pound lightweight? Will he become part of the Duckmaster Coalition? But check out this intro one more time.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
So that's a young black artist, hip hop artist down here, man. Very talented, man. I think he's only like 19 or 20 years old, man. Support the youngins in the game. You know what I'm saying? That's not anything that I asked him to give me a full track with goddamn 20 bars to it. I just, allow him to freelance, do his own little thing and come up with something for the channel. So I just, unlink the audio, put his audio in there, and that's what it is, man. Nothing hard, nothing difficult. King Mitchell on deck. What's good? I guess Shakur was doing all the extra shit because he knew Jamel couldn't fuck with him. Great win by Young Lion. Andrew Charles on deck. What's good? Salute WCS. Salute to y'all, man. Salute to you. So pretty much, I'm looking at Shakur Stevenson, right, and the 130-pound division, and having conversations with some people. They just don't. Some of them don't get it because they feel that everybody's gonna be up to fight Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel that way. I don't feel that they really want that work after seeing what they seen with Jamel Herring. But you can look at it this way too. Some people are factoring in Jamel Herring's age, but you can't say that. Jamel Herring was in there taking punches and punishment, and he wasn't dropped. He wasn't, he was in a bad place. You know what I'm saying? But he was close to hell, but he wasn't burning up in that motherfucker. For real. I'm not saying, when I mean by that, it wasn't like he was getting off the canvas and still trying to, survive and everything. He was just taking crucial punishment. But he got beat. He took a beating in there. Shakur Stevenson is not this crazy power puncher, but the combinations that he was landing on Herring from the opening bell was just too much to be taking that punishment early on, bro. You know? So my big question is, can he be stopped at 130? Is Oscar Valdez, is he really gonna step up to the plate and take this fight? You know what I'm saying? He already is on record of pretty much acknowledging the fact that Shakur Stevenson been calling him out. Is he gonna step up to the plate and say, you know what, let's do this? This is a big fight for me. And let me go in there and test my skills against Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? But let's get one thing straight. Shakur Stevenson is not Miguel Burchell. All right. A lot of people look at it like the experience factor. They'll look at him how he fought for his first title. You know, Joet Gonzalez, right? And they just take a look at how he fought Toka Conglari and Nakathila, if that's the way to pronounce the name. And then they was like, man, he didn't look all that good. He's overrated. He's boring, this, that, and the other. But then he goes in there for a second division title, which he had to wait. He had to wait. Even when Jamel Herring caught COVID, he couldn't insert himself to the title picture just yet because they was going to have that fight. They was going to allow Jamel Herring to get that payday. So he went in there and stopped Frampton early. I was like, God damn, is this guy rejuvenated? What the hell? But Shakur Stevenson walks in here, an old stablemate and friend, and I understand why he did it. He kind of put some sting and some mustard, some venom, you know what I'm saying, some spitefulness into it. Pissed off Jamel Herring's family. But as long as they've been around boxing, they should know it works like that all the time. Majority of it. When fighters just have to make it personal a little bit, they have to have some type of contentiousness. And that's what Shakur did to Jamel. It wasn't anything overbearing. He wasn't in there just, on Twitter dogging this man out. They probably exchanged personal conversation when they were sitting on the ring apron together. He didn't bring out any personal shit. He didn't like go in, because I felt he had respect for Herring, and the same go from Herring to Stevenson. I just felt Stevenson trying to take his belt at the weigh-in. He was just trying to hype the fight up. But that fight is past now. We need to hold these fighters accountable once again if they duck. We seen Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? You remember this thumbnail I put up there? And I'm gonna get to the comments. You remember this thumbnail I put up there, right? Y'all remember this thumbnail I put up there? The Duckmaster Coalition on Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is the pound for pound Duckmaster Coalition's number one, top tiered in the damn lightweight division in boxing, period. That's Ryan Garcia right there. I hope this doesn't happen at the 130-pound division. I really hope Oscar doesn't look to be protected, man. I really hope this fight happen and we get to see a unification, because I'm gonna tell you like this. I know somebody was trying to have a boxing conversation with me, and I was being very patient, but they were saying that the Mexican fighters ducking the black fighters. I say, not so much. Like, and maybe in certain divisions, like in the 135-pound division, the lightweight division, yeah. That shit happened with Devin Haney. Yeah, he actually had fighters ducking him. You had Javier Fortuna. You had the Ryan Garcia, and then Jojo Diaz decided to recover a little bit and say, you know what, I need some money. So let me since Ryan Garcia has paper cuts or cuticle infections from getting his nails done, let me go up here and make a paycheck with Devin Haney, because we all know Jojo Diaz is he's looking for that check too. But one thing we do understand is that at the 130-pound division, if Shakur Stevenson beats Oscar Valdez, right, the WBA and the IBF is nobody else left that's really going to challenge him. Let's just say Chris Colbert win the title, the WBA title, because he's fighting for the vacant 130-pound WBA title. Is that going to be a match? Yeah, people will come. It's two black fighters. Will they match them up? Because they don't like seeing two black fighters in the ring, man. You know, it was rumored that they don't sell. You know what I'm saying? I'm curious to know, because I truly feel Shakur Stevenson can beat Oscar Valdez. Valdez is too slow, and even though he possesses power, I think Stevenson, the way he has educated his discipline to box right there in the pocket, but just outside the punches. If he was able to do that to Jamel Herring, he should be able to have somewhat similar success with Oscar Valdez too. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to get reckless, and jump in there and test out Oscar Valdez's power right away. He's not going to do that. He's going to, if that's the issue, he's going to basically force Valdez to come to him if he want to touch him. And then with that, Shakur Stevenson be able to counter if he chooses. You know what I'm saying? So that's my biggest thing, man. Shakur said he ain't trying to go up to 35 yet. He wanna become undisputed like Teofimo Lopez. He wanna somewhat emulate what Teofimo Lopez was able to do. I think Valdez will give Shakur a good fight, though. We know Valdez full of that shit, tea and pear crumpets. I would assume the testing is going to be better, if this fight was to take place sometime in 22. I would assume that, Valdez will not get a waiver, test positive, get the okay from whoever. They increase the levels to that motherfucker. They increase the levels again, right? And say, okay, thumbs up. You're good. You're good. Grappio, go. Make us proud. Defeat this guy. Okay? We helped you out twice already. A and B sample dirty. We know that. You know what I'm saying? His A and B sample just dirty. Super dirty, man. Like an old mattress in a trap house. Shakur Stevenson is definitely going to mention that to Valdez's face. It ain't over. You know how stressed Valdez got when he was receiving all this backlash from the fight fans? What do you think is going to be when Stevenson, if he gets this fight, what he's going to bring up? He's going to say you're a cheater. Come on, man. If he was willing to do that with Jamel Herring, what do you think he's going to do with Valdez? He's not going to freaking care. He's going to be like, man, I'm going to make an example out of this dude for cheating. I'm going to make an example out of this dude. For real, I am making a damn example as worse as I possibly can with him. Shakur looked razor sharp. Absolutely, I agree there, Andrew. As far as trash talk goes, I thought it was relatively mild. I agree, but it doesn't have anything to do with mild. It just has something to do with when you're talking about two fighters who have shared the same gym beneath the same banner, right? And I'm pretty sure he's been over Jamel's home, broke bread. He even said it when he went back there. He told Jamel's wife, he said, I know you mad at me. I apologize, though. I know you mad. I apologize. She wasn't trying to hear it. She didn't say anything, but she was like, I ain't trying to hear that, because listen, when we break bread, like black people break bread, But yet you saying, okay, it's time for me to sell out just a little bit. I gotta sell this fight. So I'm gonna sell out. Not selling out to the point where you up here just outside your character. You know what I'm saying? Like you just doing enough to bring people to the dance. You're not really being overly disrespectful and personal. And I just believe just because they probably had broke bread before, they have had those talks on the ring apron, they sparred one another, they had that bond, that unity on the same team at one point in time. I think that's what was the special part about them. You know what I'm saying? Why his wife took it the way she did. Why Jamel was saying, like, I don't know why Stevenson is acting like this. We never had beef. But we understand it as boxing fans that, man, somebody have to be the villain. If you would have acted like Canelo and Triple G in their first fight, I mean, come on, bro. I mean, no, they second fight after Canelo had popped dirty. They didn't even have a presser in the same room. Like, that shit was so prima donna. We're not trying to go through that, bro. He's already been on record acknowledging Shakur Stevenson want this fight. We don't want the Ryan Garcia Capion, dog. We don't want the Ryan Garcia Capion. Oscar Valdez has to take this fight with Stevenson. He has to take the fight if he wants to be respected, especially coming off this motherfucking positive test. He has to take the fight, bro. What better person to take the fight than another champion in your division? While they sort out the WBA and the IBF, let's unify the WBC and WBO. And then Shakur Stevenson, the way he's been going, I'll say he needs to slow down because I'm pretty sure he's gonna go after that IBF title next, man. It's definitely a fight I would look forward to. You know what I'm saying? Um, will one of these fights be on PPV? I don't know because the star power kind of reduces itself. You know what I'm saying? It decreases after Oscar Valdez. I'm really not putting too much Wall Street into Chris Colbert. I mean, he's just now coming on the scene and he's not a big name in boxing. He definitely knows Shakur Stevenson. But when it comes to black fighters boxing one another, if he indeed is able to win this WBA title and Shakur is able to unify, and yeah, people are tuning in for Chris Colbert versus Shakur Stevenson. For real. They will absolutely tune in. Whether it's gonna be on PPV, I don't know because Colbert doesn't have any receipts. Now, Oscar Valdez, Shakur, yeah, try to put that shit on PPV. Something. You know what I'm saying? Try to get the fighters paid. Try something different. Because after the Valdez fight, it's no other PPV fights at 130-pound division that would warrant Top Rank to say, let's risk it. Let's put this on PPV. Unless Shakur Stevenson goes out here and knocks out Valdez, man. Seriously, if he goes out here and stop Valdez somehow, some way, that'd be a tough jump. I mean, like I'm really reaching. I'm reaching with rubber arms on this motherfucker. If he stops Valdez, then magnification. If he faces Colbert next, which will only be right in my opinion, people might come see it just off Stevenson alone, off his last two performances. You know what I'm saying? The work he put in against Herring, his performance against Oscar Valdez, and then head into the WBA. We'll see if it works out in that manner. So let me Let me pull up something right quick and show y'all some. So I'm pulling up these divisional rankings, right? Just want to check some things out right quick. So I'm gonna share screen so we can take a look at this 130-pound division. Okay. So let me share this screen right quick, man. Let's talk about this shit right here, because as easy as it looks, man, it all depends, man. For real, it all depends on how they work this out. So this is 30-pound division, which is junior lightweight, and I'm just showing really the first 5 that really matters to me. Okay. So of course they haven't changed the shit yet. But check out the WBA though. Roger Gutierrez. Like look at that. Look at all those names. John O'Carroll, got Chris Colbert, Mark Erbendorf, Xavier Martinez, Ricardo Nunez. Isn't any one of them picking them to defeat Shakur Stevenson? Look at the WBC. You have Miguel Bachelt, who's already stopped by the champion. He was a former WBC champion, right? Oshaki Foster. Oshaki Foster, man. He's waiting his turn. He's in the shoot. I'm pretty sure he's ready. I don't know, man. A lot of people don't know Oshaki like that. They're not pushing for him to face Burchelt. Like that's going to be stagnant for a little bit. That lineup is just going to be stagnant for a little bit, man. There's no need to even go down to 4 and 5 unless you want to give out constellation prizes. I mean, there's no need to even go down there. They're not getting a shot at Oscar Valdez, in my opinion, anytime soon. I don't think he's gonna say, let me fight Oshaki Foster instead of Shakur Stevenson, because Stevenson is more money, and also it's a title on the line for him to unify. That goes for both names. Stevenson and Valdez, both of them have the opportunity in the window to unify. The winner potentially goes on, and fight, I guess, the WBA, or fight for the vacant IBF. That's what I'm saying. The 130-pound division, it has potential for unification. But also, there are obstacles out there, like the red tape of boxing. The red tape of boxing, that's a different type of duct tape. You know what I'm saying? That red tape of boxing is different, y'all. It's different. The durability is different. It can stop a whole lot. Look at the names over there at the IBF, man. It just gets cloudy, doesn't it? It gets cloudy in this month. I really hope he's able to navigate. In the next 2 years, he's able to navigate through this, man. If he's able to pick up 3, he will get that down undisputed. If he's able to get this 3, and let's say the WBC, and I would want him to get the IBF after the WBC. Why? Because we get to see who wins, when Chris Colbert gets his shot. And then we can have a final of, undisputed for that WBA. Right now, none of the names in the IBF are a selling point of interest. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's really trying to. I mean, it's some okay names in there, but as far as popularity to the boxing fans, who gonna reach in their pocket except to get a stick of gum? Who's gonna reach in their pocket? That's all I'm saying, man. Like, can he be stopped at this division? The only person, in my opinion, that can, try to slow him down is Oscar Valdez. That's my thoughts on that. Andre on deck, what's good? Valdez not taking that fight. I hope so. I hope he take it. I hope he take it because look, if he don't take it and he feels that he can just pick and choose and the Mexican fans are going to respect him for it, that's up to him, man. We've seen a lot of the Duckmaster Coalition in full effect. It wouldn't be no different. A division down from the lightweight division, which had the ultimate pound for pound Duckmaster of them all, and Ryan Lion Garcia. So if Oscar Valdez, wants to hit that pound for pound list, man, if he doesn't fight Shakur Stevenson, he himself will be placed on that fucking list. Sheet, we here on deck. Salute to you, bro. He will be placed on that list, period. But I'm hoping that's not the case because Stevenson made it perfectly clear, man, he's not trying to move up the lightweight division until he unifies the junior lightweight division. Until he unifies the junior lightweight division. So you can't blame the man for that. You cannot blame him, man. And let's hope it happens. You know what I'm saying? Let's hope this shit takes off. And they believe in Shakur, because when I seen him trying to move up to 130 and move just a little bit faster to get that title, he was like, nope, you can't step in. We'll just wait for he come back from COVID. They was like putting the brakes on him a little bit. They say, man, you're moving too fast there. You're going to move when we say move. And then finally he got the shot with Jamel Herring, and he made the best. He made the absolutely best out of an opportunity, a grand opportunity to pick up his second world title in a higher division. Salute to him for the grind, man. Salute. Let's go to this article right quick. This might be an option now. As much as I hate to try to distract, deflect from my topic, this article that's in Boxing Scene, in Boxing 24, it says Shakur Stevenson open to Lomachenko fight, says Aaron protecting Valdez. So the article goes on to say Shakur states that he heard that Lomachenko would stay lightweight and won't be returning to 130-pound division, making it impossible for them to fight. Stevenson's 17 victories, 0 defeats, 9 coming by way of KO, wants to face WBC 130-pound champion Valdez, who is 30-0 with 23 knockouts, in a unification fight next year. But he believes their mutual promoter, Bob Arum of Top Rank, is protecting Oscar from him. It's being talked about that Valdez could face Emmanuel Navarrete, 35-1, 29 knockouts, in his next fight, which would be a huge one. Here we go. And that's why I want to read this article, because here we go again, right? You have Shakur Stevenson is picking up a belt, but there was 2 black fighters fighting, right? So if this is indeed have any validity to it, with Navarrete coming up here to face Oscar Valdez, that essentially would be disrespectful, because Navarrete just moved up. He just moved up to featherweight. Well, how in the hell can he make and shift gears the way he's been able to do it to even get a shot at 130 pounds? And he hasn't really even did anything You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. He did just about what Shakur Stevenson did, moved up and got a belt. But you talking about two Mexicans that people go ahead and see two Mexican fighters fight, but yet they say two black fighters don't sell. Navarrete and Oscar Valdez both have more experience than Shakur Stevenson. Emmanuel Navarrete is 35-1 with 29 knockouts. It's a very tough fight for Valdez. That is a what you call an awkward, unpredictable type fighter in Navarrete. I like Emmanuel Navarrete. I like his style of fighting. I like how he is able to execute certain moves that only he himself mentally can pull off because that's the way he fight. But I hope, Bob Arum doesn't allow him to move up because then, it's really going to be difficult for Shakur Stevenson. Even if, let's just say he goes to IBF or the WBA route. Is Navarrete planning on campaigning at 130 or he's going to drop back down to 26? Is he going to allow, if he, let's just say, for instance, he gets the win, is he going to, look at Stevenson as a worthy opponent and say, yeah, I'll fight him? I would assume he would, but we don't know, bro. Like we really don't know what Navarrete will do in this case because there's been so much ducking going on, blatant freaking ducking. We don't know what to expect in boxing. That guy Eclipse 330 on deck. Salute, OG. How you feeling? How you feeling, man? Apparently, as long as Valdez isn't in competition, he's okay. Yeah, man, as long as he ain't in competition, they're giving him that nice season, that well-seasoned, marinated beef. You know what I'm saying? At the right levels, of course. Because the levels was raised. It's called the Valdez raising. You know what I'm saying? Leveling up by Valdez. You know what I'm saying? Let me move forward on this. It wouldn't be a one-way fight like we saw in Shakur last two contests against WBO super featherweight champion Jamel Herring last Saturday night, or his match before that against Jeremiah Nakatilia last June. This is Boxing Scene. It goes on to say Valdez would get hit by Navarrete, and it'll be exciting to watch. Unlike Miguel Berchelt, Navarrete won't be weight drained when he steps in the ring to take on Valdez for his WBC super featherweight title. Lomachenko, 15-2, 11 knockouts, is fighting next on December 11th against former IBF lightweight champion Richard Comey, who is 30-3 with 27 by way of knockout on ESPN. If Lomachenko wins that fight, it'll be interesting to see if Arum matches him up against Stevenson at 130. Lomachenko don't have a title, man. See, that's the one thing about boxing. When you have these goals, right? And you say, you know what? Now that I'm world champion in this division, I want to unify. Now we're looking at what Teofimo Lopez was able to do. And we're saying, damn, that shit was damn near a miracle the way you look at it. Like, that shit was that diamond that you run across and you didn't know it was there. Because the one thing about Teo, he had one belt and Lomachenko had the rest. And when I say that, I'm talking about, I'm not going to explain what the franchise and all that shit. You know what I mean? He had the rest of the belts accordingly. In this particular case, the belts are not consolidated in with one fighter as we know it, not even two. So it's going to take even longer if they insert Emmanuel Navarrete into the equation, bro. That's going to take forever. And that's if they don't have a fucking rematch clause. That's if whoever wins is willing to fight Stevenson. Stevenson have grand goals that he's setting for himself. I hope he's able to achieve them, man. I hope so. You know what I'm saying? Because we was able to see, Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez, but they was in a different weight class. Both of them had two belts. It was a little different scheme of maneuvers going on. And then finally we was able to see Jermell Charlo and Brian Castano. Will the 130-pound division face a dilemma of political intervention? Will that be the case with the 130-pound division? I hope not. It goes on to say Lomachenko wants to avenge his loss to Teofimo Lopez, but Tio and his dad want nothing to do with him. I can see the hoopla between that. No rematch. Thought he was going to come out the victor. All this other shit. Anyway, moving on. If Aaron wants to build Stevenson into a star in a hurry, the perfect fight to help speed up the process is to match him against the former 3-division world champion Lomachenko in early 2022. It would be a sink or swim type of matchup for Shakur Stevenson in taking on 2-time Olympic gold medalist Lomachenko. If he's the next Mayweather, as some boxing fans believe him to be, he will beat Loma with no problems. This is my gripe in how writers always compare black fighters to Floyd Mayweather. They act like Floyd Mayweather, who is retired, is the only bar that they can measure these new fighters with. That's crazy, isn't it? I'm not saying they don't know about any other boxing history, because you can compare a black fighter to a white fighter. But in this modern day era instant, they intend to continue to compare black fighters to Floyd Mayweather as if we never had any other prominent black fighters. You can't compare him to Roy Jones. I know. You can't compare him to James Toney. It's quite difficult in that style too. But every one of these, like a lot of writers, are always comparing these black fighters to Floyd Mayweather. Now, is Lomachenko Stevenson a productive fight? I mean, like, in the scheme of things, when you want to see Shakur Stevenson take this momentum off Herring and head into another title fight, if he's unable to get Valdez, right? Isn't a way for him to fight for the vacant IBF or something? Fight for the WBA, something. If you have options, you have two options out there, the WBA and the IBF. This goes on to say, most definitely, said Shakur when asked if he's willing to fight Lomachenko next. But last time I heard, he said he's staying at 135. And that's exactly what he said. Stevenson goes on to say, I've been calling his name out several times, and when I call out Oscar Valdez on ESPN, I said Lomachenko first. I'm down for a fight. I don't duck no action. I'm with everything. I've been in the ring with Lomachenko sparring before. I'm down with that too, said Shakur. Lomachenko should call Shakur bluff by agreeing to come down to 130 to challenge him for the WBO title. If Lomachenko has no other options for big fights after he faced Comey in December, he can make the most money and noise by taking on Stevenson next. Now, let me ask you all this. Do you agree? I have to place value to the fact that Stevenson did say he'll fight Lomachenko. So therefore, it's not basically breaching what his goals is. His goals is to unify the division, but he himself said he'll fight Lomachenko. And that's it. I'm curious to see how Lomachenko handles Richard Coleman, to be honest, because now Lomachenko is about to step in there with another common opponent. It's almost like watching Terrence Crawford at welterweight. He's about to step in there with another common opponent of Errol Spence. Now, when it comes down to here, the lightweight division, Lomachenko cleaned out Nakatani. You know what I'm saying? Who Teofimo Lopez fought first, who was ranked above him en route to getting his unification. And also he's about to step in there and face who? Richard Comey, who he picked up the title from. He being Teofimo Lopez. He picked up the IBF title and stopped Richard Comey in 2 rounds. So that's another common opponent of Teofimo Lopez. Is that building up a fight that's already out there? You know what I'm saying? Is it going to be one of those deals where it's going to build up the momentum for a rematch? Is it? I don't know. But if indeed he fights Richard Comey, Lomachenko looks good. He don't look like an old man. He don't look like Pacquiao reincarnated. You know what I'm saying? That fight would definitely be very, very entertaining to put together. Stevenson can potentially change levels with his status in boxing. If he's indeed able to get the Lomachenko fight, assuming it goes well with Richard Comey. Richard Comey has a little bit of power, but he's not Lomachenko with the footwork now. Let's assume he beats Comey, and then he provides Shakur Stevenson a fight at 130. It's very interesting, man. But I see it being so far away on the end of the scope. Real talk. It'll be fun to see if high-tech Lomachenko can figure out a way to beat Shakur, as the highly hyped 2016 Olympic silver medalist is looking difficult to beat right now. That's true. It's true. Mark Nash on deck. What's good? What's good? Andrew, I get tired of hearing every Black American fighter who shows promise get compared to or called the next Floyd. Yes, I totally agree with what you're saying. Just like I just mentioned, we have to do better. The writers have to be better. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for them to mention Floyd Mayweather because he keeps showing up at fights, and Floyd was a different type of dude. He is a legend of the sport, and we all know the history, the backstory for Floyd Mayweather. But stop comparing black fighters to black fighters. You know what I'm saying? I mean, stop doing that. It's good to be in the conversation that someone is acknowledging you to be in comparison to that fighter. But how many fighters are we going to compare to Floyd? We seen Devin Haney. Oh, he Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Every black fighter that has a win, they tend to pretty much say, let's take the value away from them being themselves, having their own individual proprietary style. Let's take that away and put it on another fighter that's no longer competing. You know what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather's not competing right now. So instead of them just saying, he has his own unique style, man, we appreciate seeing Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney go in there. Man, they are definitely special in the sport of boxing. Now they'll say, oh, man, is this the next coming of Floyd Mayweather? And Floyd's sitting in his mansion, say, yeah, there you go. Put my name up there. Keep me relevant. I'm trying to go in here and get another bag of millions anyway. Keep my name in your mouth. It goes on to say, Lomachenko will be a different story, though, because he's too talented for Shakur to stay in the pocket with the entire fight. Unfortunately, we'll probably see Stevenson use his normal hit and run pullback style against Lomachenko to avoid getting hit. Let me underscore something. This particular author said, unfortunately. Now, when you have influences through words, this is where it's at. This is where it's at. Are you praising him for being in there with another black fighter? Or when it comes to Lomachenko, you want to elevate Lomachenko's status and praise him subliminally and say, you know what? Lomachenko is going to give us everything we need. But Shakur Stevenson, unfortunately, he might use his normal hit and run pullback style. And get the fuck out of here, man. You're being biased, bro. They go on to say when Shakur used that style, he's almost impossible to hit because he's essentially fencing with a sword. He's essentially fencing with a sword. Now, when you're fencing with a sword, I'm not even gonna get into it anyway. It's incredibly dull to watch Stevenson's pullback style of a fight, but very effective. Whether Lomachenko has enough youth left to defeat Shakur fencing style or battle is unclear. This dude is being sincerely biased. You know, the fact that he's up here comparing Stevenson's style to fencing, when in fact, in fencing, when you dart in and out, all you have to do is touch your opponent and the fight stop when you score. But with boxing, you continue to find certain openings, different angles. And when you land those punches, it's not like an automatic electronic device goes off and says, "Beep," score, point. No. I mean, you keep on getting hit. If you hurt, you hurt. You have to fight out of it. But it's boxing. It's the sweet science. It's hit or not get hit. So in one sentence, you're basically praising him for performing and really dominating Jamel Herring. But then just because it's Lomachenko, who's a topic of discussion, you would sit up here and devalue Shakur Stevenson's fighting style. I don't get it. Like, it's hit or not get hit. Hit and not get hit. Period. It goes on to say, I feel like that's the main thing to do. I feel like Emmanuel Navarrete is a 26 pounder, and he's got the WBO 106-pound belt. That's Shakur Stevenson. He said, I've been calling for Valdez. I feel like top-ranked promoter Bob Arum is protecting Valdez. If he isn't going to do that, I'll definitely do that, says Stevenson, and expressing interest in facing Valdez next. Why not? It's self-evident that Arum is protecting Oscar Valdez with the way he's matched him as a pro, but you can't blame him. Valdez is a moneymaker, and it would be silly for Arum to put him in with a fencer. They basically labeled Shakur Stevenson in this article. It's overly naive and juvenile to compare his motion of fighting or his behavior of fighting or of execution of his boxing technique to that of a fencer. It's just unbelievable because boxers, they have gloves on their hand. A fencer has an extended weapon. Stupid. With the fencer like Shakur, to see him lose in a boring fight. You know, I don't want to pull the race card on this shit, but this is not the first time I've heard these cats at Boxing News, you know, be extremely biased towards black fighters. Real talk. It would be foolish for Arum to ruin Valdez's money-making ability by putting him in there with Stevenson because it's a style matchup and there's no real game. Stevenson isn't super famous, and his amateur fighting style would be so bad one for Valdez. Somebody didn't proofread. There's nothing for Arum to gain in putting an exciting fighter like Valdez in with a guy like Shakur Stevenson. So once again, check out the intention here. Their intention is to pretty much promote from their platform the fight that they want. They're not promoting the fight that Stevenson really wants, that's of higher value, and that's for the WBC title. They just want to sit up here and continue to place labels on Stevenson, which aren't one of those labels that you say it increases the value of the viewing audience to say, you know what, let's see Stevenson Valdez. No, it's more so like, I think they're right. I think they're right. Why should he get that fight? You know what I'm saying? So which one are you doing? It's almost like you're discrediting Shakur's fighting style against Lomachenko. And then you're saying that pretty much Stevenson isn't super famous. and his amateur fighting style would be bad one for Valdez. There's nothing for Aaron to gain. So it's nothing for Bob Aaron to gain if he has two fighters in-house that's fighting in a championship fight. It's crazy. So it's okay for him to fight Jamel Herring, but it's not okay for him to fight Valdez. Absolutely extremely biased. Saturated in biasness, man. You're basically trying to dissuade the audience to be influenced by your narrative, man. You're just sitting up here. What are you for boxing, or you just here to say, you know what, it's Shakur Stevenson or Deontay Wilder and every another black fighter that I want to sit up here and say dumb shit about? This makes very little sense, man. Shakur has an amateur fighting style. I know I was sitting ringside. I didn't assess or praise his fighting style as amateur. I absolutely didn't, man. I did not appraise his style as amateur. I wonder if these guys was even at the fight. That's crazy, man. That's absolutely crazy, man. Mitch said, Colbert, a good fighter. He's no walk in the park for anyone in the division. I never said he was a walk in the park. I just don't think he's better than Shakur Stevenson. I mean, come on, should I pull up BoxRec? You know what I'm saying? Like, both him and Shakur isn't crazy power punchers like Gervonta Davis per se, or even Oscar Valdez. Oscar Valdez, what, he's sitting at like 28 knockouts or something like that. I mean, Oscar Valdez has pretty decent power, man. Let's be honest. But when you're talking about Chris Colbert, no. Even Shakur Stevenson, he doesn't have crazy one-hit quitters, but he has pretty decent power when it comes down to it. He does. It's good we have one Chris Colbert fan out there. That's great, Mitch. Congratulations, big dog. I'm going to send you a care package in the mail. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to send you a care package for being the numero uno special fan of Chris Colbert. Let me share something with you right quick to help you change your mind. Because he's not a walk in the park. I get it. But let me share something with you right quick there, Mitch. Let me share something with you. Check this out. This is Chris Colbert, 5'8", 71-inch reach, pretty okay. You know what I'm saying? So let's look at this right here. Chris Colbert is 16-0 with 6 knockouts. So if him and Shakur Stevenson stepping in the ring, it's definitely going to be a boxing match. But seeing what we seen last night, Stevenson can and will degrade his opponent by sitting down on his punches. He's able to, apply power to those punches in a way that he can open up cuts, man. He can degrade his opponent's health in a fight. And Jamel Herring seemed like he had pretty decent cardio, but he was getting touched. So the only thing Colbert could do, in my opinion, to Stevenson is attempt to outbox him. I don't think he's going to be, it might be a boring fight. They might negate one another's style, just like wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you run into wrestlers in MMA, and they negates one another's wrestling ability, and they just have a stand-up boring ass fight. In this case, it'll go off speed. Who has the better defense? Hand speed, and who can land the most effective punches. I don't think it's going to be any knockouts, but you never know. Shakur might edge him out in that. I don't know. But that was strictly for you, Mitch. The one fan that Chris Colbert has. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to put that out there, big dog. Some punk ass writer named Allen at Boxing News 24 said Errol can beat Uga Supporter. He can't beat Uga Supporter. Another top name. I haven't really read that article yet, but another top name that they you got to be careful about Boxing News 24 because they are extremely biased. I like reading their articles so people can understand and digest that they're extremely biased people. They have authors in there that doesn't even have an editor that they have to submit their articles to before submission. These individuals just know how to type fast and they press send. They always have errors in their article and they are absolutely one-sided sometimes on the boxer that they want to support. Bro, I had second row seats by the fighter entrance. Okay, for sure. I didn't even know you was at the fight. I mean, I seen something today. I didn't even know you was at the fight. You know, ATL residents. I didn't know. But you know, let's see if Shakur Stevenson is able to be in the good graces somehow, because Bob is going to do what Bob want to do. So if it's Navarrete and Valdez, well, I truly believe that Shakur Stevenson's career can go to another level if he do fight Lomachenko. Seriously, it will go to another level if he goes in there and defeat Vasily Lomachenko. Yes, it can be done again outside of Teofimo Lopez. You know what I'm saying? And people, you know, you look at Vasily Lomachenko and him taking that loss against Lopez, people still want him to get back in there for a rematch, even though he chose not to fight the entire first half of the fight. But, you know, you still have people holding on, especially the fact that his BFF, Oleksandr Usyk, is a unified champion. I think that's going to more so motivate Lomachenko to get back in title contention. I don't know how long. We don't know how long Usyk's going to have them titles. But that may motivate Lomachenko to say, you know what, let me get back in title contention. I go in here, I stop Richard Comey. Maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to get back in there with Lopez. If not, I can drop down and wait. He's much older now, so you can't tell me that it's going to be easy or that's something he wants to do. But he's mentioned it. He'll drop back down to 130 and face Stevenson. I don't want no catch weight. None of that. If you're going to come down to 130, come down the right way. You know what I'm saying? We don't want those Canelo rules where it's hydration clauses and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? Period. Evan Holyfield may by hot loss, but he'll execute better next time. Tim Bradley and Andrew Ward was going at ESPN Plus after that fight. Tim Bradley and Andre Ward was going at it. Yeah, I wasn't even paying attention. I was like at the post-fight presser. I haven't really rewind the tape to even check it out. But I need to check out on ESPN at the end. I need to check it out again. Everything boxing and sports on deck. What's going on, Keon? How you feeling, bro? Scotty, what's good? What's good with you, bro? You know, y'all be sure to check my man Keon out, man. Make sure y'all sub it up. You know what I'm saying? Sub his channel and everything, man. Support Mark Nash's channel. Go over there and sub, man. Check him out. We'll see. On to Charlo. Charlo, I read, is potentially thinking about, or he has called out Triple G. Now, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't an offer placed out there for Gennady Golovkin previously, and he turned it down? So what's different now? What's different for Triple G to say now I will face Jamal Charlo? Because from my understanding, he has the IBF belt. I don't really know what Mar Charlo plans are up there, middleweight, but is it to just unify or is it to have a bigger name? You know what I'm saying? What is his intentions? You know what I'm saying? What is his intentions now? Is his intentions coming out there in Chinko and all that other stuff? Is to fight Gennady Golovkin because his name? Does Gennady still has that TV attraction at this stage in his career? Yeah, because they still believe it's the Gennady of old that's gonna walk through punches. You know what I'm saying? They still believe Gennady has enough in him to come in here and give Jamal Charlo a fight. But I could have sworn he turned down that fight previously. So what good is it going to do for Jamal Charlo to call him out? Is it just for, to send up a flare out here so people can look up and say, oh, shit, Jamal Charlo calling out Triple G. But, do we really believe that Triple G is going to do anything about it? Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know if Gennady's up to facing Mar Charlo, man. That's a very sketchy type of call out. Mar Charlo said, let's make it happen, said Jamal, calling out Golovkin on social media. Golovkin is 41-1-1. We all know who his first loss was. We all know that. To agree to a unification match with the 31-year-old Charlo could prove difficult, if not impossible. Now, that's one of the best and smartest things I've read today on Boxing News 24. It could prove difficult, if not impossible. But we're talking about individuals who are absolutely biased when it comes to black fighters. As it believed that he's waiting for his December 31st unification fight against inactive WBA Super World middleweight champion Yoda Murata on December 31st in Japan. Yeah, he want to fight the ones that, try to pick up 2 titles and get in the good graces of whoever and potentially get that trilogy. He's looking for that trilogy, man. If he can just get that trilogy before he retires. Maul goes on to say, I just don't want to pick on an older man, Golovkin, and make it look like I'm going for a weaker fight. But he does have a belt. There's a time to unify. Now, Mar Charlo, I'm not here to provide any type of free consultation when it comes to, telling you what some of the other people are believing within their heart. But do you believe that they were saying that about Manny Pacquiao? Isn't Gennady Golovkin this guy who has done so much in your division, and people respect the shit out of him for being this robotic machine who's able to walk through punches and keep going? Isn't he that guy? He only has 1 loss, bro. So with Manny Pacquiao in that motherfucker, I didn't hear shit being said about an older guy, so to speak, because he was going in there for a championship. You're going in there against a guy who has a belt. You just said it. So why bring age? Why do this? Why try to give us something that's a riddle? You call out Gennady Golovkin, but then you shut it down with his age. Call him out and leave the age out of it. Just leave it be for what the fans can perceive anyway, and that is he has a world championship. So forget everything else. We don't want to hear this shit. We've been waiting on you to call out and have a big name anyway. Gennady Golovkin is that guy, not somebody who's, Sergey Darenchenko gets all the chances in the world. You know what I'm saying? And then gets moved over here to the WBC. I mean, come on, man. Gennady would be your biggest challenge. So if you want to fight him, don't dilute it with criticism, talking about his age when we just see Manny Pacquiao in that motherfucker, and he's been in boxing since he was 2 years old as a professional. Nobody was sitting up there saying that. Manny Pacquiao, the only boxer to turn professional at 2.5 years old. Amazing. In boxing years, Manny Pacquiao is like 58 years old, man. Include all the knockouts that he's been slept. The sparring, 8 divisions, man, all the rigorous training, all this shit. You know what it is. But it's a good name, man. Will it happen? I don't fucking know. I don't think so. And it's not really something I can put a lot of merit into, as if it's going down next year. I'll be surprised if Gennady Golovkin accepts this fight. The article goes on to say it sounds like Jamal Charlo is a little conflicted. Here we go. About calling out the soon-to-be 40-year-old Triple G. So it was okay for Manny Pacquiao to step in there against Yordenis Ugas at 43, right? Something like that. But here on Boxing News 24, a little conflicted. Once again, a black fighter trying to call out a white fighter or a Mexican fighter. Boxing News 24, these guys don't like that shit. It has nothing to do with the race card. It has something to do with race facts. On the one hand, Charlo wants to capture Golovkin's IBF middleweight title to add to his collection. Still, on the other hand, it doesn't sit right with him to be picking on an older fighter now that is soon to be characterized as a quadragenarian person in their. Oh my God, man. These guys are using dictionary.com and shit. It's amazing, man. They're basically trying to place Gennady Golovkin as if he's damn near in hospice care. Like this dude has to wear a diaper in the ring. I mean, God damn. Remember, Boxing News 24, when y'all read these articles, man, make sure you step away from that motherfucker and get you something to drink, and then come back and read the rest of them. When you come back, you're going to say, did I just read what I think I read? Let me go back through this. Yeah. So it's going to all register to you. These motherfuckers are biased. They said Golovkin arguably lost his fight with Derevyanchenko in October 2019, but was surprisingly given a controversial 12-round unanimous decision. Wow, they mentioned this? Amazing. It goes on to say if Derevyanchenko were as popular as Canelo Alvarez, Golovkin likely would have lost because he looked like the loser in that fight. Boxing fans want to know why Jamal is calling out Golovkin right now and not WBO middleweight champion Demetrius Andrade. Now, I wouldn't say they're making sense just because they want to. It's just, to me, they want to see two black fighters extract from one another. Now, of course, boxing fans, including myself, say, okay, how long are you all going to keep Demetrius Andrade on punishment? We all know he fucked up. We already know he tried to change the numbers and shit. That's been so long ago. Why aren't you calling out Demetrius Andrade? In this case, they want to see, oh, why don't you go over there and try to take his title? Why are you trying to take Gennady Golovkin's title? Goes on to say Golovkin has an excuse for not fighting Charlo because he's facing Murata in December. Still, Andrade will soon be freed up after wiping out French contender Jason Quigley next month on November 19th. 35-year-old, they're gonna big up Andrade just to somewhat say, let us big him up so they can kind of latch on to the fight with Andrade versus Jamal Charlo. The 35-year-old Murata, 16-2, 13 knockouts, hasn't fought in 2 years since 2019. Pay attention. Murata, 35 years old, he hasn't fought in 2 years since 2019, right? And for some bizarre reason, the World Boxing Association hasn't stripped him of his title. Ta-da! The WBA, World Boxing Association, hasn't stripped him of his title. I wonder why. Please, somebody, please elucidate that for me. Please explain in detail as to why he's not stripped after 2 years. Didn't they strip Manny Pacquiao for some reason? I mean, what was the reason for that? Like, they just want some type of freaking affirmative action, keeping this Asian fighter on deck with a belt for someone to finally come around like Gennady and pick it up. It goes on to say, it's not convenient for the contenders in the WBA top 15 rankings to have a champion like Murata sit on his belt for 2 solid years without defending it. But I guess they have their bias for letting him sit on their title. Now, we can kind of turn it around just a bit. You know what I'm saying? Look in the mirror. How did Yola Murata get his belt? How did he get it? Okay, do we even care how he got it? But now that we understand how long he's been champion and WBA has absolutely did nothing. Why? Why should we be concerned? If Gennady Golovkin is going to fight Yola Murata and pick up the WBA title, if he wins, then it should be a closed case for unification, because now you have an individual like Gennady Golovkin with 2 belts, the IBF and the WBA, and then you have Jamar Charlo with the WBC. Come on, Gennady. You want to compare yourself to Bernard Hopkins, right? Step up. Get this WBA title, and then turn around and face Jamar Charlo. But in the interim, it's not up to me to waste y'all time and say, you know what, I want to see Jamar Charlo face Demetrius Andrade. Even though I do. I want that fight. I want that fight right there. Because, goddamn it, he needs to get paid for making a fool of himself, him and his pops. You know, a lot of people say Andrade is a slick fighter and he's good and this, that, and the other. But he's not getting the respect from those fighters who has these belts. Andrade is not getting respect. And it made him look even worse. Going into the press conference, believing that was going to do something to call out Canelo Alvarez. Bro. Man, it was bad timing, Demetrius. It was bad timing, bro. But I commend you and your pops for doing it. It seemed desperate, but I commend you for doing it. You know what I'm saying? I commend you for doing it. But right now, that ain't the topic. Is it potentially possible for Andrade Charlo? Because I'm not up here to start no bashing rant. But goddamn it, I'm tired of them freaking blacklisting Demetrius Andrade. You've been a WBC champion, and I can go in how you picked up your belt too, Charlo. So why won't you give Demetrius Andrade a shot? Don't y'all have the same amount of divisional titles? Why don't you give this man a motherfucking shot, dog? And stop talking this, I ain't gonna never fight him. He ain't gonna never get a shot. Dude, you're not this ultimate superstar like you think, Jamar Charlo. You're still working on that. Loma would beat Comey, and Aaron will grant him the Teofimo rematch. Teo would then move up to shit on Loma. In here, listen to this good cooking. I appreciate you, bro. I look at it like this too, Mitch. I don't consider it shitting on Loma. Why should Loma have this freaking entitlement and shit? Like, he had his opportunity, man. Look, he had his opportunity there, Mitch, to cancel out everything about becoming undisputed. All he had to do, Mitch, was not become franchise champion. That's all. Unification drops are mandatory, if anything, right? So we're not talking about Devin Haney. It was nothing in paper about that shit, none of that. But I'm talking about Vasil Lomachenko. All he had to do was collect that IBF title. That's it. But you wanted to request a franchise belt, man. You wanted to request a franchise. All you had is one belt remaining, and we would have had a clear, concise, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, undisputed lightweight world champion, reigning, defending. But no, you wanted to say, you know what? I beat Luke Campbell. I don't want to fight the rest of the year. And in the meanwhile, hey, can y'all put that petition in? Yeah, I want to just like Canelo. Yeah, go ahead. I want to be the second franchise holder. Go ahead and put that petition in, please. I'm about to go on vacation. All you had to do was remain WBC champion and fight a unification bout with Teofimo Lopez. It would have been for everything, period. No franchise, no nothing. It would have been for the 4 belts, just like Josh Taylor. Would have been no freaking dilemma on who's who, this, that, and the other. But let's not put all the blame on Lomachenko. You have to blame Mauricio Suleiman for that too. He the one put that shit out there. Man, the middleweight division is full of shit. It is, but you have to hold the champions in that category too. Like Demetrius Andrade is like in a desperate position over there at the WBO. We get it. But also we have to look at Maul, Murata, wherever he's at. People are not criticizing Murata for his damn hiatus. Just like they wasn't criticizing Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao sitting out that motherfucker with that title forever. Manny Pacquiao, you know how many times he walked past that title in his house? He didn't even look over there at it. He said, yeah, I'm going. I got goddamn political duties. He wasn't paying attention. I mean, you know how long he had that motherfucking title? Look how long Murata's had this title. And then Gennady Golovkin, man. He can pick and choose who he fights. He can fight marginal freaking fighters and no one really says anything. Right or wrong. Spirit on deck. What's good with you? It's time for Charlo versus Andrade. Both are not getting the fights they want, so they should fight each other, and one of them can unify. That made perfect sense what you said, man. But I Charlo, man, they can be entitled little brats sometimes, for real. Like, don't come up here sending emails talking about I'm criticizing the black fighter, man. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear it. Because you know it's true. You want to talk about black man doing another black man dirty and not giving the opportunity for a fight? Look no other place than the middleweight division. Because Charlos stay angry at Demetrius Andrade. Do you know how long Mel Charlo was mad at Jared Hurd for no fucking reason? Just being disrespectful? Like, Jared Hurd don't say shit to nobody, really. But for Demetrius Andrade to do what he did, supposedly when he had the opportunity to fight, the Charlo brothers has made it their vengeance, man, to keep this guy on the outside and never fight him. But okay, so that means you're not going for undisputed there, Mar Charlo. You're not going for it. If you're not going to give Demetrius Andrade a shot right now, how long are y'all going to be around for this shit to continue to be punishment and time out? Give that man a shot, man. We want to see, is Demetrius Andrade as good as they say? And the only way for that to happen is for him to face the top talent at the 160-pound division. Why not start with Marcelo? You want to talk about you calling out Gennady Golovkin, right? But then you're going to put that damn extra sauce on there. Well, guess what? I don't want to act like I'm picking on the old man. Man, get the fuck out of here, dog. It's a joke. Your name is out here in the media for calling out Gennady, but yet you want to damn kind of downplay it a little bit because of his age. But yeah, check this out, people. Imagine if Manny Pacquiao was Yoda Murata. Imagine if Manny Pacquiao was holding the WBA title and he was in the position of Murata. Imagine the shit that we'll be hearing right now. Marcelo say, well, I think I did enough to pretty much deserve a title shot at Manny Pacquiao. He's a legend. He's a future Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? I deserve a shot at Manny Pacquiao. Well, Marcelo, what about his age? He's pretty old right now. Well, it really doesn't matter. You know, the experience that Manny Pacquiao has been able to show to his fans and the boxing community over time, his experience and everything, his championship caliber elite status as a fighter, that his age has nothing to do with it. But with Gennady Golovkin, he wanna pump fake like he's calling Gennady out, but yeah, he's gonna throw in a disclosure. Yeah, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen, Gennady. But you know what, people? I'm not trying to act like I'm picking on old people. I'm not trying to act like I'm picking on old people. But yeah, if Gennady wants it, cool. He's basically calling out somebody that he pretty much understands that won't accept the challenge with him. Because Gennady believes that Charlo doesn't have a big enough name for him to step in the ring with and make money. Gennady still believes he has the motherfucking high point of all the fighters in middleweight with belts. He's still the moneymaker. He feels that way. He steals the creme de la creme. Gennady Golovkin could fought Jamal Charlo to get a third shot at Canelo. He could have, but the way it looks, and very solid point, the way it looks right now, though, Spirit, is it's all about acknowledgement. Is Canelo Alvarez really, is it anybody at 60? Like, he could give a fuck about Gennady. And he definitely don't give a fuck about damn Charlo. So in the words of Juice, if he don't give a fuck about Gennady Golovkin and don't give a fuck about Charlo, and he definitely don't give a fuck about Andre, because he just want to payday. Well, guess what? He don't give a fuck about coming down to the middleweight division anytime soon. In the words of Pop. You know what I'm saying? He don't give a fuck about that middleweight division. That's why he vacated his WBA title. God, have it. Keep it. Keep it, man. They all want to payday. And I keep it. I'm doing other things. I'm about to go up here and try to unify the super middleweight division so I can add to my legacy. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what it is, man. Yeah, the pressure is on Jamal, man. The pressure has been on Jamal, man. But I can't put all the culpability on him because boxing is political. It was good to see Mel get the shot with Brian Castano, but for Marcelo, man, they have an Asian fighter who has a title for a couple of years, and you haven't even heard any mention of it. You haven't heard any freaking mention of anything. Gennady Golovkin's been fighting canned goods, just chilling, hoping that Canelo Alvarez comes back down to the middleweight division and say, you know what? I have one invitation. Pede, pede, pede. You know who's a special recipient? No one. No pede, pede. Oh my God, dog. It get ridiculous. Just look at it as getting revenge for your brother. That's Andretti didn't fight. I know. But I said this earlier that both of the Charlos have a vendetta against Andre because he tried to change up at the last minute. I get it. Both of them, they're twins. They may not get along with each other, but when it comes to Andrade, Mel probably told Maul, man, you ain't fighting that nigga, man. Fuck that. Don't give that nigga no love. Period. Don't give that nigga no love, man. I don't care how bad he wanted to fight. So Andrade every now and then may mention Maul's name, but it's not on a common basis, y'all. WBA full of shit. Yes, sir. Look who their neighbor is. They're just look, the WBC is bleeding over into the WBA. Look at Fox and Maestre. They robbed the man. The WBA is slowly but surely building their corruption damn barometer up to match that of the WBC, bro. WBA couldn't wait to put Ugas in a tournament, though. Ugas wants to unify. Listen, damn good point, Mitch. Check this out. I feel ultimately bad for Ugas because Ugas is one of those guys who, he's not one of my favorite fighters, but I can say this like without any bullshit. That every time I've seen Ugas in person at fights, maybe about 7 times, bro. He is one of the coolest people. He may not speak English, but he's one of the coolest, approachable fighters that you'll know. With a bad one on his hip, a bad one. He was with his girl one time, and I was on the floor in San Antonio, and I walked up to him and said, "Ugas, can I get a picture?" No problem. Take a picture and shit. Cool dude. But he gets no respect in boxing because he doesn't, for one, he isn't bilingual and he doesn't say much. And it's just the fact that they're not even respecting that man since he was given the title. Now he beat a legend. Errol Spence doesn't even have Pacquiao on his motherfucking resume, y'all. Terrence Crawford don't have Pacquiao on his resume. Come on, man. Sean Porter don't have Pac on his resume. Ugas gets Pacquiao, and now they want to put him in the tournament. They damn near want to strip this man of his fucking title, dog. Didn't I say that Ugas is just being set up for the okie doke months ago? He's just being set up for the okie doke, man. He doesn't have any selling power, but yeah, he's a pretty decent boxer, man. That's fucked up. Boxing is a cruel, man. It's a cold, cold game out there with boxing. Looks that way. The Murata guy. I say shit on Loma because I know Teofimo ain't scared of Loma. He just like, fuck Loma. He been saying fuck a lot of people lately. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, we all know why Teofimo Lopez has a different type of vitriol to Lomachenko. It stems from, I was there. It stems from the commotion that happens. And if I wouldn't have been in the interview, I would have been able to film that shit. But the fact that his pops attempted to shake the hand and Lomachenko looked at him in a disgusting way, or like he was a subordinate, or he looked at him with inferiority, it didn't sit well. So a big ass damn argument broke out. So to the Lopez's, they still take that as disrespect. Not only that, it's the fact that Lomachenko did not put a rematch clause in the fight. He was very, very confident he'll walk out of there the winner. I don't care too much for Lomachenko, to be honest. I always said he was overrated. You know what I'm saying? And now look at him. He's a two-time gold standard Olympian chasing someone that doesn't even come close to his amateur status. Doesn't come close. Not only that, people, he fought Nakatani. Now he's fighting Richard Comey just to prove the Bob Arum, hey, put me back in there with him. I can beat him. Lomachenko hasn't even been able to do what Teofimo was able to do. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Lomachenko hasn't even been able to do what Teofimo Lopez was able to do. He may be a 3-division champion, but he wasn't able to accomplish what Teofimo did at 130 pounds. We know this. We know this, shouty. Spirits say then it's pointless. Andrade is at a standstill. Andrade has been at a standstill, man. Nobody respects the dude. You know what I'm saying? Andrade, look, in my opinion, Andrade is a good guy. Real talk. Andrade is a good guy, man. He can box too. But how is he placed and matched up with the name to sell tickets? Like, he's just one of those guys who is just like the Jared Hurts of boxing. Jared Hurts is another good guy. But Jared Hurts barely even speaks, you know. He really took a beating from Luis Arias. I mean, like, it's not like people don't respect these guys. It's just the fact that a lot of people don't know Demetrius Andrade. You know, he even hasn't. I mean, it's no reason for you to dislike Andrade just because he walked in there with Canelo Alvarez with his pops and tried to get a fight. You can't blame his effort to place himself in a situation to be exposed in front of the camera, because, you know, it went viral for a little bit. People was talking about it, but it quickly died down, smoked out, and no one has spoken on it again. No one. But Andrade can fight, man. And the only way that he can prove that shit is that, you know, Charlos stop them acting like this is a damn lifetime vendetta against Andrade. They freezing him out. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here, bro. Murata has the luxury of nobody giving a fuck about him. Damn. Wow. $150%. All the way true. Don't nobody give a damn about Murata, man. Nobody gives a damn even to say, hey, where he at? We seen what's the WBA champion? Like, no one knows where the WBA champion is at, man. This dude's been chilling. No one knows where he's at, bro. And that's wild. Because I remember when you know, Wilder and Joshua was going through the back and forth and they was trying to hand him a flat fee. The WBA came and said, Anthony Joshua must defend his WBA title against his mandatory. Which at the time, he was going to face Alexander Povetkin in Wembley Stadium. He must defend his mandatory. If not, he would be stripped. So when it came down to it, nothing ever happened. He said he must sign it within a week. A week passed. They didn't say anything. Manny Pacquiao was out. Nothing really happened until, you know, they started to say, you know what, you know, Manny still has that belt over there in the Philippines. What's our course of action on that? What we're gonna do? Manny had a belt for a long fucking time, dog. I don't fucking know. This shit is crazy, man. This shit is crazy. Soccer Training Club on deck. What's good with you? Salute WCS. What's good? What is good, man? Appreciate you pulling up. But that's where we at, man. Like when it comes to the Charlos, man, some people act like you're not supposed to criticize them for what the obvious reason is. They treat people like shit. That's real talk. Period. Call it for what it is. They treat people like shit. Period. People think, oh, I got killers in my crew. Yeah, it's funny to me that if you're a professional boxer and you actually work out with your hands and everything, that you would actually put another human life in a position to have they freedom extracted from having everyday liberty just so you can go and give the order to take care somebody on YouTube or a basic citizen. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't even have popularity, nor do they have the lifestyle of the Charlos. But he's going to get on TV and say he has individuals that's willing to do life. For real? For real. They just continue to treat. They don't care if you're black or not. I'm not a fan, man. I'm not a fan. And you won't see me kissing ass to the Charlo brothers. I'm not a fan because they disrespect black men, black fighters. It don't fucking matter. Just like they disrespecting Andre, but not giving him an open door to square off and make a check and eat. It's just like, Mel Charlo coming out, what he said against Wilder and all this other shit. He's gonna have some interaction with some YouTubers and want to make phone calls and shit. Like, come on, bro. You have all those expensive materialistic luxury vehicles and a big ass house and all that shit, but you ain't happy that you got to dip over here to YouTube. Nah, that's fucked up. I'm not Charlo fans, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I was going for him in the Castano fight. I wanted to see him, become undisputed, but I'm not really a fan of the Charlos, period. They treat people like shit. It's been too many occasions where you saw the incident with Gervonta Davis, Adrian Broner, where he was going off and shit, like he was out of his fucking mind. The shit with Jared Hurd, walking with his family. And some girl said something in the circle. He say, your bitch, this, that, and the other. Okay. Him going off on his brother. They going off on each other. He's just been at the throats of several people and they don't give a fuck, dog. But to sit up here and say I have enough money and have people in my clique who basically would do life. Well, I had people when I was serving that was willing to do that too, but we was in combat. So those individuals shooting for a purpose to protect the nation for which we reside. You talking about just basically implementing somebody to go take out a basic individual that has no influence on you making money in life, bro. Has absolutely no influence on you. Just words. Just because a boxer say, you need to be slapped, you just, I mean, come on, man. We ain't talking about the president, dog. Oh, not to mention, if it was a president, he would have been like, oh, he was just joking around. But since it was another black man, nah, man, I got shooters, bro. This wouldn't goddamn do life for me. For real? Amazing. Canelo is the only pound for pound king that I can remember who has been outboxed by numerous fighters on several occasions. Even in his wins, he's been proven to be outboxed. One thing we know about boxing, then, Mitch, is that Captain Corruption saves the day. Captain Corruption will never go away, goddammit. It don't matter what color the cape is. Captain Corruption will fly in on your ass when you least expect it and change some cards. They would change some motherfucking counts, goddammit. 8 Consimissime. 1003. Get up, get up, get up, get up. 10. Good, good. You okay? You okay? Walk that way. Come back to me. Continue. Fight. Man, y'all know I ain't bullshitting, dog. Canelo is well established. If anybody go the distance with Canelo, good luck. Caleb, sorry to say, if Caleb Plant doesn't basically make it cut and dry, I'm talking about clear, crystal motherfucking clear, that he's won more rounds than Canelo, it might just be a replay of Arislandi Lara. It might be just another replay of another fight that the scorecards were favoring Rolly Romero. When Jackson Mariñez obviously defeated him and was scarred for fucking life because he was hooked up in Connecticut, got outboxed, and was gifted a title. You know I'm not lying, bro. Fuck middleweight. Why would Canelo lose an extra 8 pounds for those dudes who can't even unify their titles? True. True, man. That's true. Why? You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't even have to ask why, man, because it's plain. It's plain and simple. It's so clear that Canelo is at a point right now for him to drop down and lose that weight. It's gonna have to be somebody special. For real. He's gonna have to put a notch on his belt. Somebody has to have that name. To be honest, at one point in time, I thought he'd do it for Errol Spence. But I look at it doesn't make sense either because Errol Spence going up to 60, it doesn't matter if he walks around at a higher weight. It's what you competing. Like, you want to compete for the first time at 60 against Canelo Alvarez at that weight? Nah, that ain't smart. It's more than boxing. It's more than boxing. If I can't respect the fighter as either a person or the way he goes about handling his business, I won't likely be a fan of them. I totally understand where you're coming from with that. I mean, most of the fighters that I support heavy, I respected. Like, I respected them in the ring and outside the ring. But I totally agree and concur with what you just mentioned. Because when it just come to blatant disrespect and it's personal and motherfuckers don't care about you, and then, mentioning who you got in your circle. I mean, it's people that have killers all everywhere. Like, it's dudes that's willing to prove a point anywhere. We see it all the time, bro. Like, he ain't saying nothing we ain't never heard, but with this street life, the real ones know. Young Buck said, I wasn't joining, I was born in it. I mean, we all know some of these celebrities when they claim some type of affiliation to whoever, they have to continue to pay a stipend to sustain that status and basically be able to call themselves a part of that affiliation. They're not sit up here and they meet up and they jumped in. You know what I'm saying? It's not done traditionally. These people with money is able to get in that motherfucker without even getting touched. But they have to continue to basically put forth money to whoever it is, to the OGs, man. It's going to have to be that way. Caleb knows what he's up against. I'm going for Sweet Hands, man. He absolutely knows what he's up against. And, Sweet Hands, if you're watching, man, I'm rooting for you to go in there and give Canelo Alvarez a boxing lesson if it could be done. For real. I want Caleb Plant, man, to give Canelo Alvarez a boxing lesson. I want him to exceed all expectations. You know what I'm saying? I want him to fight outside his mortal being. I do. I just want him to be able to change levels on this fight against Canelo, man, and prove that he can be beat. Other than Floyd Mayweather, all the other people that's been able to basically outperform Canelo Alvarez hasn't got the nod. They was robbed, so to speak. So Junior Funky ass was offended by Loma not shaking his crusty hand after he extended, but said fuck shaking on it to Devin Haney. Well, for one, they did shake hands. It's been so much, yeah, we'll do it. It's been so much back and forth hoopla that was going on social media with Lopez and Haney to the point where it became comical there, Mitch. It became so comical that the things that the gestures that we take serious, like shaking other hands and agreeing on bets, they was doing that shit like, okay, all right, we'll fight y'all. Oh, for real? Okay. And then you hearing me, we ain't fighting them. Please, man. It's just talk. It's Hollywood talk. Man, Lopez was up there. His pops was just up there. Yeah, we'll fight you. Yeah, sure. And then he'll go on somebody else's shit. Nah, we ain't fighting them, man. Who is he fought? Come on, who is he fought? That's Lopez. Who is he fought? Manny and Keith held that WBA title for hostage for 4 years combined, and they ain't do shit. Wow. Who's to blame for that? Who is to blame for that shit right there, bro? Because Keith, you know, he at least he was able to get up here and get sat down one time and step up. But Terrence don't have it. Sean Porter don't have it. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence don't have it. They don't have a Manny Pacquiao on their resume, dog. They don't have a Manny Pacquiao. As long as Manny been up there doing what he's doing, man, Keith Thurman, who is obviously a better boxer in my opinion, a former unified champion, he takes an L against Manny Pacquiao. Your Dinas Ugas, who I don't even remotely consider has better boxing skills than Keith Thurman, he beats Manny. Even though time has went by, I'm saying he beats him. No matter what happens with the tournament or the title, right? On his resume, he has Manny Pacquiao. And by that, it has a green and white W. He won, dog. Well, you know, I don't think I don't know what's next for me, but my legs are heavy, and that's like I have ankle weight and knee weight, and my legs are heavy during the fight, could not move. I have to check shoes to see if plaster of Paris was in the soles of my shoe, like Antonio Margarito. But no, I mean, I'm not making excuses. My shoulder hurt too. Same shoulder that hurt with Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, my same. Yeah, I'm not making excuses. But yes, my eyebrow, it's a little tender. Man, goddamn Manny. That man be making excuses. I swear to God, dog. My leg heavy, both my leg is just bricks and cylinder blocks. Almost like in my drink. Between rounds, it had cement. I mean, goddamn, Manny. What the fuck, dog? Ugas win the belts and he put in the tournament before his damn hair grows back. Damn, dog. You know damn well Ugas' hair isn't growing back, dog. When I saw him in person, You always see him dressed up like clean. If Ugas is not fighting and he's there to watch, Ugas is clean, dog, with his girl. Clean. But he should go bald. He should shave it all off. Get the motherfucking blade and get that shit nice and clean, man. Stop. Come on, man. You go to the barber, Ugas. You go to the barber and they say, what we trying to do here, man? Like, give me a ball fade and shit, fade that shit up like that. Keep a one on top. Keep that grade one. Ugas, you don't have enough for a one, shawty. You don't have enough for a one. Just let me ball you all the way. Nah. I still have hair right here, hair there, hair this, and I have a strand right there and one in the back. Man, just go ball, Ugas. For real. Chop it off, bro. I hope Plant get the. I don't even know who that is, man. I hope Plant get the job done. Yeah, Captain Corruption, man, for real. But y'all, man, you know what it is, man. I'm about to bounce. You know what I'm saying? I've been on here for a minute, and believe me, I would stay on here, but I got stuff to do. I got parental duties, for real, shouty. So this is what I want y'all to understand. Be sure to check out my YouTube, man. I'm in the process of editing some videos. I did do a video with Sugar Hill. I'm just contemplating on whether I should put it out there because I wasn't planning on. This is just me. I wasn't planning on interviewing Sugar Hill because I wasn't a fan of his at all. I wasn't at the State Farm Arena to really have a controversial, because I don't do this shit for views. I just do it for the love of it and all that. You know what I'm saying? The passion for it. I wasn't really a fan of Sugar Hill at all. Like I really felt he was a grimy dude like Tyson Fury. But he was there. And the fact that I talked to him off camera about 10 minutes before I even turned the motherfucker on and start recording it. And I just had to give him his props for them having a game plan that was better than Team Wilder. And he was cool with just talking. We was chopping it up. He remembered, who I was, in LA and what I said to him and all that. But I was saying, man, I'm not on that right now. But I have to commend you for you all going in there, getting this shit done, having a better game plan. And whatever, happened in training, whatever y'all studied and came up with, it worked. But I did record a portion of the back end. So I'm just trying to see if I really want to put it out there because, like I said, I was up there talking to him before I even turned on the camera. It was getting quite interesting. So I decided to record. I said, let me go and record this. But I didn't want to because, that's not what I do sometimes, especially not with him. But anyway, one thing about this past weekend was that, yeah, you had Shakur Stevenson, Jamel Herring, but yet it wasn't a lot of extra boxers out there to get interviews with. Like you've seen people here and there walking around. Like when Kanye West walked past with Jay Prince, there's no way you getting that interview, bro. You're not getting that interview. Like I could have went up there and Kanye might have went to the staff and said, that guy right there, he tried to give me an interview. I'm Ye. All right, I'm Ye. Tell him it isn't that easy. He got to pay me for an interview. I'm Ye. You know what I'm saying? He don't have all the answers. I'm Ye. But it just wasn't like when Javante came down here, there's a lot of extra celebrities and athletes in the building. But with this fight, not so much, man. Like, yeah, you seen, Michael B. Jordan, but let's just say, for instance, Nico would do an interview, but after this fight, he was tied up. And plus, in my opinion, I wasn't running to get an interview with Ali Wash. And then Xander, man, he just had a lot of people around him talking to him. He had a Spanish Espanol video going on, interview going on. So I really couldn't get him, but I did get a picture though. And he had to make it to the final post-fight presser. But besides that, Quavo and Jada was there. It wasn't too many other people like around boxers, bro. Like you say, oh, there goes so-and-so right there. There goes so-and-so. It wasn't like that this time. It was a lot of trainers and all that. But it really wasn't a lot. Like I saw Keyshawn Davis, for instance. I got an interview with Keyshawn Davis, but it was rushed because they told media to get out. They told us to get out after the weigh-ins. I was like, what? This is the time for us to get the interviews. Nothing but fighters inside. Media, you have to go. So Keyshawn Davis was there. You know, Flavor Flav was walking around. He's team Ali Wash. You wouldn't get no interview with no Shakur Stevens. He was eating. Who else was in there? I wanted to chop it up with Steven Nelson, but he seemed like he was on the go. I didn't try or attempt Crawford because he was in there headed before the fight. You know, Stevenson fight was coming up, so I saw Crawford with glasses on. I didn't know it was him, man. I seen this dude walking with some glasses and Dolce Gabbana, Dolce on, and he walked up. I was like, God damn, that was Crawford, man. I didn't even like. He looked different with those glasses on. They probably cost like motherfucking $100,000, but yeah, he walked in the arena and went and sat down because the main event was on deck. Couldn't get Holyfield. He was getting interviewed. Young Holy. He was getting interviewed. But besides that, it wasn't any, a lot of big names on deck, bro. I'm just being honest. Ugas the Boogeyman. Please stop it. I know, look, stop it. I know it's getting close to Halloween. All right, Kane. I know you want to, you know, I didn't say Kane. Kane on deck. Salute you for pulling up. I know you're trying to, you know, do what you do. Trying to scare some people for Halloween, but goddamn, Ugas ain't the boogeyman. If he was, they wouldn't be trying to put that man on the Goodwill tournament, dog. For real. They'd be giving that man more respect. Real talk, shawty. But y'all stay tuned, man. I got some videos posted. Check my YouTube out. I'm in the process of adding. Shout out to Team Williams Jr., man. Y'all keep on grinding out there, doing big things, 19-0. You know what I'm saying? Keep on grinding. And, you know, shout out to the YouTube content creators that's out here, you know, getting it in. Shout out to the LDBC who came through Georgia, through the ATL, man, showing support. I'm not saying they're the only ones doing, but as a group, this is not the first time I've seen them down here supporting the fights. So shout out to them cats for rolling down here to the A, man. You know, Junior the Truth, I Am Ill Will, Supreme Beast Boxing Talk, and all the other cats that was down here too. You know, representing. Appreciate you putting up to the city where I was born and raised at, supporting the fights, man, representing the sport of boxing the right way, and showing that, you know, YouTube content creators can get together and show up to a fight that's not in their hometown. That's what it's about, right? So that's what it is, man. Y'all continue to support the channel. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. I'm out.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars. Should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.